Welcome back to another episode of Blake Builds, except this time it's me, Evan, in the sound booth. We are now desperately close to our Building 1 being complete, with only 14 days to get the logistics operation moved out of the old building and into the new one. You can almost taste move-in day. Exhibit A, we've got Ollie and Glenn speedily but meticulously fitting guttering across the front of the canopy, which is one of loads of tasks still left to complete. But I'm confident that we're going to get done and get moved in before you know it. An end is in sight. As I continue with the first fix of the lighting system, the boys are going to be outside completing the major outdoor works necessary to be completed before move-in day, with a focus on finally getting water off site and appropriately discharged into the nearby culvert with the help of Paul the pump.
This is no ordinary building site. This is BIR.
I'm not sure I like the way this is going.
What do you mean? So here we are, avid viewer, back in Poo Corner.
Poo Corner? Oh, it is Poo Corner, isn't it?
Poo Corner, yeah. It's Poo Corner. Now completely buried and almost finished. Biodisc digester is here. More to follow on that when that gets commissioned. One day you might even see my floaters in there.
Won't that be a sight to treasure?
This is the final destination of our poo on our site. So after post-treatment, it goes into this little pump chamber. And Paul, from what's this company called? UK Pump Maintenance or something?
DC Pump?
Paul Pump at
No, that's the
pumps.com.
other one, that is. That's Dan's van. It's the subby. The subby of the subby.
It's worth noting that there will be no poo once it gets to here.
Yeah, post-treatment.
It is.
Oh, that's what it means.
It is.
Gone.
Yeah.
Yeah, technically, the water that goes into this chamber will be drinkable.
Who's going to test that?
No, I'm not testing that.
This is the man right here. Buck stops with OTB.
Interesting thing I learnt today is if you macerate our poo from that pump chamber down there and blow it in here, which is
Nice box here defining macerate.
yeah, yeah, to macerate, to chew.
Ding.
I like her to chew. To like blend it up, it actually increases the bio load on the disc by 50%. So if your treatment plant was set to do 50 people, if you blend it and blow it in, it would need to be sized at 100 people in order to do 50 people's worth. Because of the way it needs solids to go into it in order to work better for the microbes to break it down in the treatment plant. So yes, so it's going to go in there.
Coffee's not that appealing now.
Primordial soup or...
We'll forget about that for a bit.
You are really sensitive to stuff like that, aren't you?
I don't like thinking about poo while I'm drinking coffee, no. Or talking about it. Really.
Oh, and that makes you really weird, you know.
I know, I'm a freak.
Most normal people enjoy that kind
Yeah,
of
it's
thing.
not a problem, is it really? I mean, Paul's been drinking some... I don't think that's a sample. I think that is some sort of... that is some sort of drink.
It's a vial.
Hopefully it won't look like that when it comes out. Otherwise you're in trouble. So after it's been treated, it was going to come into here and we're going to pump this off-site, basically, down to our culvert, which Ben's done such a nice benching. So
Putting the Ben in bench.
2 pumps, so you've got a failover, and they're set to run one, then run the other, dependent on duty cycles. So because you have double the pumps, you have a failover, but also you double the operating life of a pump. So there's some rails that go on those mounts, and it enables you to pull the pumps in and out for maintenance without actually going down there.
I thought that was very clever.
Mm. But lots and lots of pumps of all different types are like that all over the place. You get macerating pumps, high volume pumps, all sorts of stuff.
So the issue that we had, or been having, was to decide whether to macerate or not macerate. Is that the
Yeah, from our pit that we put in
bleep
down
bit?
there. Bleat pit. Yeah, bleat pit. From bleat pit over there to the chamber here. So we are now no longer... So the problem with that is that all the waste is going to go down to that chamber over there and is then pumped up to this level, because otherwise this would have to be at like 3 metres down in order to get the fall, to get it to gravity to flow in. So if you macerate it, you have a pump that chops, and it actually has blades that chop against a bit, and they absolutely cut anything to pieces, and they're monstrous things. We've got macerating pumps here, and they chop toilet paper, and unfortunately one of the biggest problems with all sewage is actually sanitary towels, because they're very absorbent and they're quite tough in their design, and they block pumps like, you know, they're a pump engineer's best friend. They keep them in business. So you could, if you never wanted to have an issue, would be to put a macerating pump in. But like I was saying about the bio load, the treatment plant is designed to handle whole poos, or poos that haven't been chopped to a soup.
Soup. Solids.
Well, we wouldn't
As
have,
Paul
like,
calls it, solids.
solids.
Yeah.
It needs
Yeah.
to remain.
That's better.
What?
Solids and liquids, so stick with that.
Okay.
Separate the poo and food if we can at any given opportunity.
So, so we don't want liquid here. We want
Nice
solid.
big firm.
Big, firm, solid, and intact number twos to go into this tank. So instead, we're actually going to have a high volume, solid pump that doesn't. It just pumps. It doesn't chop.
Okay.
And hopefully, it will get here basically not.
I love
blended.
to think of that. You know how in America, have you seen them at like football stadiums and they'll do the t-shirt cannon? I love the idea of a solid poo just going flying out the
I was
end.
thinking, you know, when they release fish into lakes and they send them down a chute.
Yeah.
That's
exactly
what,
like that.
that's what I was thinking of.
So it will still go through. It will be a centrifugal pump, so it will still get mushed up, but not as much. It won't get completely blended to absolute soup. It will be. It'll still be broken up.
But how does it get from soup to drinking water?
Well, it's in there.
It's got to be brave.
When that's done, we did a bit of this.
I know, but I'm still amazed that something so small can treat sewage to the extent of...
Well, it's not small, is it? Really?
It's big.
It's all to
deep.
do with the surface
very
area
deep.
of these. It's all to do with the
Remember when
surface.
we buried it? It's like
I know,
2.5 metres
but, you
deep.
know, if you think of a Severn Trent sewage works, it's like the size of a football stadium.
It's all to do with the surface area of that biodisc.
still
We'll have to do a whole thing on it.
Yeah.
The thing to do is when it's actually operating, and you'll be able to see the effluent come in, and then it sits in this top chamber and is basically agitated by this wheel, the biodiscs, which is what it's called, and basically it just drags the bacteria through it all the time, and by anaerobic digestion breaks down the poo and turns it into clean water. But we're trying to do the job properly, aren't we? So, no,
The jobbies.
we want to make sure it's right. And there's actually a minimum load. So you have to have so many people feeding it in order to put enough in it to keep the bacterial content alive in order to keep breaking the poo down.
Going to introduce a quota.
I was going to say, is there going to be like...
Tomorrow you need to poo at work, okay?
Is there going to be a gauge on the wall somewhere? Like,
Yeah, like ding,
we'll
ding,
have an
number.
alarm.
You'll have to come in on Christmas
The
Day.
turdometer.
Yeah,
Turnometer.
that's it.
Levels are low, come on.
Boxing Day,
there
it'll
we
be
go.
flat out.
Well, Paul was saying actually, it's things. Some scenarios are actually really different to size for. So something like a church, for instance, where in the week we'll get like one person using it, and then at the weekend might have 150 people there. But how many of those 150 people are going to go to the loo? That is the question.
Who's going to poo in God's house?
And it's always
No one.
It's always cold
Who's
in
gonna
a church,
dare?
isn't it? It's always cold. So, and you know, you're not going to do a number 2 at church, are you? Really?
I might.
Yeah, you do. All this talk of poo, you do when you need to go, you need to go, don't you?
You do need to go.
So
No deity could ever stop me. That's like a relay one down there. Because it's going to be gravity from the building all the way down there.
So you know
from
when
bog to pit is
you know when you
gravity.
go down a flume, and you like about halfway you lose a bit of speed, so they jet some more water in to push you along a bit.
But imagine you're a poo.
Imagine you're a poo. Yeah.
Imagine you're a poo. That's what's going on here.
So you start the flume at the building, and you're going to wind your way down, and you'll slow down a bit, and then you get fired back up here.
And then into here. And then at which point you'll get broken to pit smithereens and
then drank.
and eaten alive by bacteria.
by bacteria.
We should do Russian roulette at the end. We'll have a shot of effluent water, and then we'll have some shots of whiskey. And then between the three of us, we'll have
Sorry, you were getting upset about me talking about poo at the same time as you having a coffee, and now you're on about drinking effluent water.
Because I know how much Ben hates whiskey, and I think he hates it more than I hate talking about poo.
Do you know whiskey?
What would be worse, Ben?
I'm not sure what's worse, effluent water or whiskey.
Well, that is a statement.
I'd like to hope that it wouldn't be the same colour as whiskey, otherwise it's not really doing its job, is it?
No, probably not.
But if you added effluent water and then a whiskey, it would kill any bacteria that...
Oh, a chaser.
Oh, that's it. That's it. Yeah, definitely. Yeah, effluent first, then whiskey to kill the bacteria.
What are we even doing?
What are we even doing? We don't need to worry about it. You just chew on a turd, no problem.
wash
just
it
recycle.
down. Wash it down
Wash
with
it
a
down with a
whiskey.
whiskey. Game on. Anyway, there you go.
We've digressed
So
a
I
bit.
think you can see that there's obviously, it's actually no mean feat to treat effluent, to treat your water. It's not a small thing, is it? Actually, we have spent literally tens of thousands of pounds on our poo, basically, in order to treat it properly, in order to discharge it back into the environment, to the river, to the watercourse.
It's funny, actually, you said about this bit, the size of it. It looks now, because of all the other stuff we've done, does look kind of small, I guess. But it was really deep when we buried it.
Yeah.
But I've been to a project this morning, and they've got biodiscs there, and theirs is colossal. It's massive, and it's a big industrial. In fact, they've got two of the same size, really big, 3 times as big as this one. Absolutely massive. Yeah, and I can't even imagine how you go about installing that. Well, similar to the way we did, I guess.
Dig a big hole, bury it
Dig
in
a big
concrete.
hole, put it in. But it's a lot of stuff to...
Make sure you fill it with plenty of water before you concrete it.
I don't want floating tanks, do we?
While work continues outdoors, Ollie and I are going to be inside the building with the help of Luke at 5 o'clock on a Friday, I might add, to pull a cable in from the main MCCB panel over to the JIT Logistics distribution board. How hard can it be? Time to get physical.
Common love isn't for us. We created something phenomenal. Don't you agree? Don't you agree? You got me feeling diamond rich. Nothing on this planet compares to it. Don't you agree? Don't you agree? Who needs to go to sleep when I got you next to me? All night, I ride with you. I know you got my back, and you know I got you. So come on, come on, come on. Let's get physical. Lights out, follow the noise. Baby, keep on dancing like you ain't got a choice. So come on, come on, come on. Let's get physical. Adrenaline keeps on rushing in. Love the simulation we're dreaming in. Don't you agree? Don't you agree? I don't wanna live another life, 'cause this one's pretty nice. Living it up. Who needs to go to sleep when I got you next to me? All night, I ride with you. I know you got my back, and you know I got you. So come on, come on,
Oh, God.
come on. Let's get physical. Lights out, follow the noise. Baby, keep on dancing.
Hang on, mate, we'll have a rest.
Baby, keep on dancing. Let's get this going. Hold up, just a little time. Come on, hold up. Tell me if you're ready. Come on. Baby, keep on dancing. Let's get this going.
Got about a metre on the floor, have we?
Yeah.
I think we'd be alright in a tug-of-war competition, don't you? Pretty fit, wasn't it?
Hard. It was easier when we got to the corner and could get hold of the actual cable.
Yeah, the rope batters you, isn't it? Yeah. With it being high level as well, you can't get purchase on anything. It's the lines blocking all over the shop. Yeah, it's hard, it is hard. But you've no idea how much easier those rollers have made it. You wouldn't be able to do it.
Got his trolley.
I've got my little trolley, look. Everyone's had. What do you reckon is to the trolley, Ben? Ben loves the trolley. Everyone loves the trolley. I'm just second fixing the roller door isolators. Second, I should probably explain what the first and second fix is. First fix is generally all of the enabling work, so like pulling the cables in, putting the containment up and pulling the cables in. Then you go back and do your second fix, which is fitting all of the accessories and things like that, and all of the lights and that sort of thing. A little bit different in a commercial industrial setting, because obviously there's no plastering going on or anything like that, but there is still like that precursor, which is the first fix. So all of the containment that we've put up and all of the cables that we've pulled, that's what I'd consider to be first fix. So this is second fix. So we've got our cables that we ran in, 4mm 5-core cables, SWA, steel wire armour, and that means they need these little things on. These are called glands, SWA glands. Usually what an SWA gland would look like would be this brass bit here, and this wouldn't be plastic, this would be brass as well. It comes with this little, what they call an olive. But these are slightly different. These are called storm glands, and they're by a company called SWA, and they act as a weatherproof seal, a bit like a compression gland. So like these here, these little compression glands or stuffing glands, they have a little gasket in, and as you tighten them up, the rubber gasket closes on the cable and it makes it watertight. These are like a hybrid of a stuffing gland and a normal SWA gland. The whole idea is you want to maintain the continuity of the earthing through the steel wire armour. So it's not enough to just have the earth cable, the CPC, circuit protective conductor, inside the cable. You want to join, at least at one end, you need to join the steel wire armour into that earthing system. So instead of having to pin and nut everything, that just goes through the accessory and tightens on. It's called a piranha nut because it's got these little spikes on that grip onto whatever it is you're fitting them to, like that. Tying it up, yada 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 yada. And then what you can do is you put your little strand of cable with your crimp on into there, like that, and then you tighten it on with a little screw. So that's what we've done here, look.
I see it, yeah.
And then this little grub screw, the Allen key grub screw here, just tightens it onto the thread and means you have a real nice solid connection. So what I'll do now is, these will both go into the earth terminal of the accessory that I'm fitting, which is an interlocked 16 amp 3-phase and neutral socket, switched socket. So this do not turn switch unless plug inserted.
This is for like forklifts and stuff, is it?
Well, this is in particular, it's going to be for the roller doors. So they're currently on a temporary sort of extension lead at the minute, but they're going to plug in to that.
Yes.
Yeah, through the foot.
I wondered why I was making that pattern. Yeah. That's the equivalent of Luke and Ollie was here, isn't it? Yeah, closing remarks?
Buy the right size first time, make the plinth the right size.
Well done, boys, that's another job ticked off the list. The installation of our pump station control kiosk is now complete. With that finished, it's time to call in our specialist subcontractor to install the pumps themselves. For a job like this, you need man and machine to become one. Often imitated, never replicated, the name's Pump. Paul the Pump.
What we're currently doing is installing a surface water pump station. Quite common now for people to buy these in a encapsulated plastic tank or fiberglass pre-fitted. You drop the tank in the ground, concrete it in, and then somebody like me comes along and does a mechanical electrical commissioning, which is we drop the pumps in using guide rails, which are long pieces of steel, and then we sort some controls out. In essence, what we agreed 2 years ago when we first talked about the project was that's fine if you're building a plot to sell the land, lease the land, and you're not going to be involved with it. With Ollie wants to be here for 20 years, whatever, he wants some longevity. So we discussed installing concrete chambers, which we would then bespoke build the pump station and pipe work on site, which is what we're doing now. We've missed the summer and the good weather and the dryness to
Mud
enjoy
everywhere.
this delicious mud bath we have now. I'm an inch taller than I was this morning. One of the key things that was in the original design, which I didn't do, was we were limited on flow rate. Specifically, and don't quote me on this, I think we're maximum 4 litres per second from the primary foul into the manhole before the treatment plant, which is quite hard to manage because you're looking at the total. We calculate pumps using what's called a pumps data curve. And if I had the book, I'd show you. But every pump has a performance graph. And along it are certain points plotted for the height and flow rate at that point. So say we need 4 litres per second with a calculated head of 6 metres, head being the vertical friction loaded onto a motor. So we sized this, one of these two. This is a KSB Amaporta 601 ND.
Beauty.
Yep, Leicester City blue.
Very nice.
And it will look something like that once
Yeah.
assembled.
Yeah.
So that, and we're off, that took care of that one.
Yeah.
With the surface water system, again, prescribed flow rate of 7.7 litres per second, which for surface water pumps is really low. Right. I've had quite a few headaches trying to get that, because there's things you can do. You can add orifice plates. Yeah. First use of the word orifice on this.
Well, it tickles
channel.
me every time.
Which is just a disc with a smaller hole drilled into it than the output of the pump, which creates a little bit more friction, reduces the flow and increases the head. Not a fan. You could also install a gate valve to throttle back the flow, which again increases the head, reduces the flow rate. Not a fan of that either. I want the pump to do the job. So there we have the Amaporta 603, which is just like the 601, only slightly bigger motor.
Yeah.
Same fitting, same pipe size, DN65, which is a 2.5 inch pipe fitting. That will give us 7.6 litres per second, which I'm really happy with. I'm also happy that we have some continuity in the family of kit we're using. It's all available for the same place in case of call-outs, breakdowns, which we're not going to have because it's good kit and it's all properly sized and will be correctly installed.
I was going to ask you about that. What is the sort of maintenance on one of these?
These will be out of the ground every 6 months.
Right. Okay.
Just to inspect them, check they have a coolant oil in them and an insulating oil. Check that, check inside them, look at the impellers.
Yeah.
That spins.
Wow.
And then water comes out of there.
Amazing.
As simple as that. So we check the impellers for condition. If there's anything aggressive in the water by way of minerals or acids, it can cause damage and little blister pockets on the impeller. Once the impeller degrades to a point, it will stop performing. We have had made a bespoke control panel. So all 3 pump systems
Wow. Oh, wow.
will be controlled through float switches
Wicked.
Buy this baby.
That is a beaut, isn't it?
Right, specially made,
Very
special order.
tactile. Yeah.
Specially ordered, specially made,
Oh,
specific
Paul,
to this
that's
site.
wicked, man.
Keeps everything a bit unique with the Ollie Blake
Yeah.
approval
It's got to be, hasn't it?
and a bit of Evan in it as well. I designed it, spec'd it to the pumps we have here.
Have you got to fit that as well, or is
Yeah,
it?
yeah.
So you're
we
like
did
a
it
plumber, an electrician,
mechanical,
a physicist?
Yeah, no, whoa. No more. Just call me the 2 worst words in the world. I'm a mechanical electrician engineer that specialises in pumps and controls. So that's really nice. That will be great. It's going in that black box over there.
Amazing, yeah.
We then run cables through the ducts to there, and it will all be housed centrally. They're going to put a BMS system in to monitor it. So any alarms or anything, there will be a flashing light on
So
top.
that has got alarms that will go off. Yeah.
And it will beep, but nobody will hear it out here. So the guys are going to put a system in where a very fine fibre wire into it, and they'll get a notification on their laptops, phones, stuff. It has all the outputs in there. You have to add value. The one thing I was taught in sales is, it doesn't matter what it costs as long as you're adding value.
That's it.
And the customer needs to understand the value. So the job of a salesman is to build a relationship and demonstrate value. I'm not a fan of supply and demand. I'm not a sell you this pen kind of salesman. I'm a, I know you, I know how this works.
Yeah.
Let me give you my input. This is what I think it will cost, and can we work together on it? Relationships. 8 years trading now. As a sole trader, I have lads who work for me. Generally, we rely on our network. So there's probably a good 20 independent one-man band pump companies in the UK, and we support each other. We have a Christmas party.
Wicked.
So Dan, who's currently doing the confined space work at the minute, has his own company, DC Pump Specialists. I don't go around branded because I don't need to. It's just the yellow van. And we help each other out. So people say, oh, you know, we don't want to give you this work because we don't feel like you can react. Never miss a call out. You know, you might not get me, but you'll get somebody I trust to do it, who can call me from site, and I've got the ability to simplify things and communicate with people so that I can understand what they're saying. Can I give them enough information to fix it, or can I get enough information from them to say, we need to escalate this, parts are needed, and so on. Everything done on trust. First time I came here was to look at the pump station in the old building.
Right.
Get a feel for people pretty quickly, sussed Ollie out pretty quickly, sussed out that Ollie susses people out pretty quickly. So I was very privileged when I got the call 2 years ago to say, we've had these quotes from these big companies, what do you think? You know, and I came at no cost just to go, you can do that, you can absolutely do that, and I can help you and whatever, or we could do this. And I managed to price it, 2 years ago. So we'll need to look at that similarly. So there will be a bit of an uplift to what they were paying for package systems, but it's all complete. They wouldn't have got a bespoke control panel. They wouldn't have got chambers built with 15 bar rated pipe work. It would have been 8 bar, which is prone to snapping and breaking. So I'm really privileged that they trust me and think enough of me to come in and go,
Well, I often hear you affectionately called Paul Pump. Is
Paul the Pump.
Is that a nickname
Pump,
that you respond well
I'm
to?
in most of the phones as Paul the Pump.
Paul the Pump.
And I did, so when I started brainstorming with a friend of mine who was a marketing manager, what I was going to call myself when I started trading all those 8 years ago. I'm a massive Foo Fighters fan. I wanted to call myself Poo Fighters. Just get a little P shaped like the F, and he went, you're going to be working in, I do a lot of work in central London, a lot of high-end residential stuff, a lot of big corporate stuff. He said, you can't turn up there called Poo Fighters. I said, well, why not?
It's memorable.
You know, it's me. I said, so what about Paul the Pump? And again, he's like, brilliant, but if you build a really successful business, you can't sell it because you are Paul. So you can't sell the business. So we ended up with UK Pump Maintenance, which is a bit of a mouthful. And if you ask anybody who are you, I'll say Paul from UK Pumps. But there are UK Pumps, UK Pump Maintenance, Pumps UK. I'm very proud to say that if anybody says UK Pumps, they think me.
Nice.
Hello. I'm just doing a mental health check-in.
Oh, it's about time. Good look at me. Yeah, I'm working a 14-day stretch this week because we're doing. I got a mate coming on Saturday and Sunday, another Sparky, and he's going to come and give me a chuck. So we're going to do Saturday and Sunday to try and get it done. You cut me open and I bleed orange. I really do. I'm a company man.
But you're holding up
for it.
all right, are you?
Yeah. I think. We've got to get it done, so it's flat out at the minute. We've got a lot going on. I'm just wiring up the light fittings. So we've got these fancy lights from Collingwood. These are what are traditionally called a high bay light fitting. And they come, I think we might have spoken about these before, but they come like this. People call them UFO fittings because insert like X-Files music here. So you've got your live, neutral and earth, which runs through the thicker cable. This is a control cable and it has 2 cores in it, or single pair, and that is going to connect to a system called a DALI system. And DALI stands for digitally addressable lighting interface. And the beauty of DALI is that each of these light fittings has a bit of intelligence within it, and you can program each light fitting individually to do different things. So on other lighting control systems, you might program a bank of lights back at something called an LCM, or a lighting control module, and that is basically a junction box where you plug all your lights into, and you might program that actual box to turn on or off or dim up or down based on an input from something like a PIR, passive infrared. Because we can individually address each one of these, we can get them to do different things based on different conditions. And a great application of that is going to be by the roller shutter doors. So we're going to hang these light fittings from the purlins, and we're going to drill a hole in the centre of the bottom of the purlin and connect a little eye bolt in. And we've got this zip clip system, and it can hold up to 50 kilos, and they've got a little spring in, and you can adjust the height of them. You know, they all come apart, so you can adjust them up and down like that. And then we're just passing those through and pushing the catenary wire through, and we've cut them all to the set length, so that all we'll have to do when we're up there with the little eye bolts is put another one of these on the other end, loop it through, and then hang it off the purlin like that. And then the cables are going to run up the catenary wire like that, and they've got a junction box on the end to extend the cable out to a lighting box. So what I'm wiring up on the floor here is I'm wiring up some plugs on the end of the fittings, which I'll show you. This is our Flex 7 plug, and this is the inside of it. Live loop, which is a permanent live, i.e. it's not switched, it's on all the time. Emergency live, which is also permanently live, or the other cores, neutral earth, switch live, dialing. So I've measured off a load of cables at the right length, corresponding to what light fitting is going up, and I'm using this little tool.
Oh yeah, this is your new one, isn't it? Well,
Yeah,
you've
well,
had them before, but
I've had them, I can't remember if it got lost or got half-inched, but this is a Nipex Ergo strip, and it is designed for stripping flexible cable like this. Trap it in there like that, give it a little bit of a twist, and it just does a nice perfect score like that. And it's also got here different cable sizes. So this is to strip the cable, so 1.5mm cable, that's what we've got here. And you can literally just plonk that in there like that, give it a twist,
oh nice,
and it strips it off.
Wow.
It needs to go into something like this, which is a bootlace ferrule. And it does what it says on the tin, it looks like the end of a bootlace. And all that does is it slips over the cable like that, and it turns it into like a solid end.
So you stop it all fraying out.
You stop it all fraying out, and you use a crimp tool like this, and you put that over the top like that, and you crimp it, and it makes it nice and tight and solid like that. Amazing. Ferrule your ends, people. We're going to have one fitting in the centre and then 3 fittings either side in each bay. Over here, bang in the centre of the bay, where I want to put 2 light fittings, we've got a roller door, and it's not a normal roller door where it would coil up at the top. It's a sectional door, and it comes back with the pitch of the roof, so it's going to be in the way of a light fitting being there. The beauty of DALI is that I can run a cable to the sectional door control module, and they'll have a contact in there that will tell me if the door is open or closed. So it'll be a status relay. Volt-free contact, i.e. it just works on a small amount of resistance. Is it closed, is it not? We're going to hang another couple of fittings in between the doors. We can turn those on now and turn the other ones off. And then when the door closes again, we'll turn those ones off and those ones back on. So you'll always get the even spread of light, and you won't be wasting wasting energy by blasting it at the back of a door that's going to block the rest of the warehouse. So that's like one application. This is a really nice job for me because my background is in like building automation and lighting control and stuff like that. And Ollie is well into, anyone who knows him, particularly if you've been watching the channel or whatever, he likes a gadget, and he likes automation and robotics and control and stuff like that. So I'll pretty much get free rein to make the building as cool as possible. Quite a lot of things are in the regs, or in the wiring regs, BS7671, but there is a really good bit of software out there. Well, there's loads now, but the one that I've always used is Relux, and it's a free bit of software, and it has a catalogue of basically all of the big manufacturers. It will have all of their light fittings on there, and you can tell it how many lux do you want at working level. So usually in an office it would be 500 lux at desk level. And so you plug that into the software, and it will just tell you how many lights you need, and it will distribute them for you. And then it will show you on a map or a drawing of the building in 3D, the luminance and how many lux are at different areas, and you can move them about. So that's a bit of software that I've used to determine how many lights we're going to need.
This is a completed mechanical installation of a bespoke pump chamber.
Wow.
So these tubes here are what we call guide rails, and they do what they say on the tin. The pump has a claw, excuse the crudity, it's located on here like this. The pump will have a chain to a suitable length. We'll lower the pump into the chamber along the guide rails. They connect at the very bottom on flanges, which we call duck feet, and they sit there. And the flanges have got a taper which pushes the two flange faces together, and then as soon as the pump spins, it pumps water that way.
God, that's tidy, man. That is tidy. What's the valve? Just a shut of?
Okay, so that's the isolation valve. So below it you have non-return valve, so that if only one pump should work at a time.
Yeah.
So the water will come up and rise, the non-return valve stops it cycling through the second pump.
Yeah.
And also at the end of the cycle, any water left in the line above the gravity point would come back into the chamber, causing the pump to start more often, shortening the life of them over a period of time. The isolation valve is purely there so that we can work on the non-return valves should there be an issue. This will be set up in what we call duty standby high level assist. So what that means is that the floats at the bottom start the pump, it will run its cycle. When the levels drop, the floats drop, the pump stops. The next time those two floats lift, the other pump will start. So we're alternating the duty. In some situations, you would have it in such a way that if the level breached the third float, we have 4 floats total, it would start the second pump in assist, and we call that duty assist. Because we don't want that, but we do need a backup plan should something happen to the duty pump, which would be the pump that should be running. We will set that up so that when it sends an alarm, it will try and start the other pump, because it's assuming that one pump has stopped and it's bringing the other one on. And it'll be simple as that. So yeah, duty standby, high level assist, catchy. So this came as a kit. So the top bracket, the base, and the fitting, the claw for the pump come as a kit. So we've ordered kits from KSB for the base and the claw and the top bracket. What they didn't tell us was that they don't supply the top bracket in the kit anymore. And they didn't think to say when we ordered it, do you want the top bracket as well? So the top brackets are sat on somebody's desk in Loughborough. So there's more to do.
Welcome to a Sunday with BIR, working on God's day. Yeah, we've been doing 6-day weeks, and we decided to up that to 7, just to make sure that we're really knackered. We're really knackered and have really poor relations at home. So we've been really, really busy though. Got loads of stuff done. We've got lighting feeds, we've got all the roller door feeds. We started on the fire alarm last week. We've got some data cable pulled in, and there's that big 25mm 5-core.
And I'm just putting some lights on.
Ollie's just put in 56 lights up. I put one up the other week just to have a little look, see what it would look like. And now Ollie's putting the others up. And they've got the plugs on the end that are going to go up to the lighting boxes. Got some made up over there. It's not that long a process, is it really?
It's like this, that whole thing with this job is the individual thing is not that big deal, but when you scale it,
Greater than the sum of its parts.
you know, like it's going to take more than a day to put all the lights up.
Yeah. I'm going to go and dress some cables. Ollie's going to put some more lights up. It's all go in poo corner. Although we're not dealing with poo at the minute. Poo is a future problem. This is surface water. And the guys have installed the pumps, they've installed the control panel, which you can see the lights are on over there now in our nice enclosure. They've done all the mechanical bit. They're just doing the electrical bit, wiring all the cabling up. And we've got this sort of tentacle situation going on. These are float switches. If you listen to this, can you hear that?
Hang on.
Oh, this is float switch ASMR. These float, and they have a little contact inside them. And when it drops below, something funny about that. When it drops below, so these are floating in the water, and when the water level drops below a certain depth, they'll go like that, and it'll like open the circuit. But when it's floating, you can hear that change. It closes the float, changes that switch, changes the contact to a closed position, and then it says to the pump, right, we've gone, the water's coming up because the ball's floating now, so we need to start pumping out. So really like simple bit of kit, but very clever. And they have to set the levels in the chamber because the chamber is designed to hold so much water at any one time. They've put the pump into, I hate this term, they've put the pump into hand. Does my head in. On a control panel, you get something called a hand-off auto switch. Hand just means manual. Putting the pump into manual. So he's manually just set the pump to run at 100% just to get rid of all the water in there, and then they're going to set the level and then set the float switch to the level that they want it at, and then they can put it into auto mode, which means what it says on the tin, it'll run automatically, so you don't have to manually come and switch it. It'll just do its own thing. So when the float switch floats, it'll pump water out. When it drops below a certain level, it'll turn off. They've got their pumps wide in here. So this will be for the surface water. This is like the third bank of terminals along. So that'll be for this, these surface water. And they come with like a drawing as well. And all these terminals that are labelled up, you can see on the drawing what cable goes where. All the cables have got numbers on as well, so you can trace them all back. And there's a series of relays and contactors, which are, they're for switching. So contactors and relays, you can switch heavy loads with like a really small cable or a really small voltage. So yeah, but this has all been like subbed out. This stuff's us, that's been subbed out. So these boys are just finishing up the commissioning now. Shall I do it?
Don't do it, Ev.
I'm up here because I'm going to go down there to see if some water is pumping out of our freshly installed pump station. It's not a massive flow rate, so basically the boys are saying that the
We might not have a gusher after all.
it might not be a gusher, it might be more of a trickler.
Oh, okay.
It might more of a try not to be too gross. Yeah, let me film you for a minute.
Oh, don't. What if
Here
it
it
all
is,
goes wrong? Can this handle
Extreme
Yes.
forces.
Go on.
Oh God.
Look at this, folks. An athlete on the pommel horse. Nailed the dismount.
Nailed it.
Tens all round. We put a load of infrastructure in place, as well as putting our pipe in at the same time, backfilled it all nicely. You saw Ben working in the culvert hole. Keep calling it the culvert, but that's not the culvert, that's just the outlet to the culvert.
Yes.
The culvert is the bit that goes over there. So I'll tell you what, you know what we need? Some manhole keys.
Oh no.
I'll see you in 5.
2 minutes.
Not sounding promising, folks. Yeah, so basically we're just going to make sure that the pump that they've put in is pumping water down here, and that means that all of the surface water that we've been struggling to get rid of for the last 2 years,
Pumping out into the swale.
pumping it into the swale, pumping the swale out, all of that is going to be a thing of the past. Thank you very much. This feels exciting. Are you ready?
1, 2. That's it. 1, 2, 3.
The moment of truth.
Nada.
Is it?
Do you reckon there's some sort of rodent corpse blocking the exit?
Probably.
Look at his bloody work of art.
It's really good, isn't it?
It looks like, from here, it looks like I've got a bird's eye view of a man sitting on the toilet. So the water's going to come out here and then it's going to go off down there.
Yeah.
Into that big dike over there. Is it on its way?
Should be.
Oh, quick. Quick! You're going to miss it. It's on its way.
It's on its way.
The water's on its way. In the meantime, folks, I think I'm f***ing losing it. I'm losing my mind. Luke just asked what this big pipe was.
Yeah.
And I said, Luke, that's such a good question. That big pipe there is the pipe from the pipe inspectors episode.
Oh.
So we would have loved to have discharged into that.
It would have been that right.
Which would have been great, but it's broken. It's fine all the way here,
Oh, hang on, I can hear something now.
and then about here, about there, it's broken.
I heard a gurgle. We can hear a gurgle.
Hey up! Hey! It's alive! It's gushing, Seri.
We've actually got a gusher.
7.7 litres a second, I'll have you know. How do you feel about that? Very good. Look at it.
Wow, that's a thing of beauty, isn't it? I never thought I'd love to see it as much as I do love to see it.
But listen, you really do love to see it, folks. There you have it.
Still to come on Blake Builds.